What is going on, killers, and welcome back to the channel. Guys, today I'm going to be installing Strange Engineering Pro Series 2 rear brakes on my S197 Mustang. We are on the quest for a 10.0 pass NA with the factory MT82. Just reducing weight and reducing drag and all that other good stuff. So I'm going to flip you around and show you what I have left of the kit. Here's the pads. Here's the caliper, which is, it is also directional, so you can't really mess that up. And same thing with the rotor. The rotor is a two-piece design, therefore you don't have to, you don't have to throw the whole thing away. You can just take the ring off and replace it. This is also directional too. Let me see if I can find one of the little arrows. Right there. Focus. There we go. See it? Cool. Now, there's all that. Now, what I'm going to show you is my car already has C-clip eliminators on it. So, therefore, it already has the caliper bracket. Well, the holes are not wide enough for the Strange calipers. Those are meant for the factory ones, so we have to put these on. Not that big of a deal. There's only 4 bolts that holds this whole thing in. It's the RTV that is the problem, because anybody that has ever had C-clip eliminators knows that these things leak. It does not matter what you do. Anybody that's ever had them knows they eventually leak. So you just cake them with RTV and hope for the best. So I'm going to take them 4 bolts out, slide that axle out, take that bracket off, put this bracket on, and hopefully put the caliper and rotor on. Wish me luck. See, lovely part of C-clip eliminators. Axle's out, took off 10 minutes. Axle's right there. So I stuffed a rag in the tube. I'm going to clean all this up. And then I got to separate this from the bearing housing. And then I'll be... Obviously, I got the other one done. Now, I'm going to show you something that might be worth noting in case any of you are fighting with different tolerances than me. This new bracket is significantly thinner than the old bracket here. Just for a size comparison, I'll stack the two. You can see. So you are probably going to lose a 1/4 inch of wheelbase. You know what I mean? Because the axles are going to slide in. My car has a spool, whatever you want to call it, spool. My car has a spool, so I shouldn't have any problems with the axle sliding in any further. But just in case any of you guys got any wilder situations going on to me. But I'm going to get all this cleaned up, take a razor blade, clean that up, get this off, and then install that one. Getting that old RTV off, get a little bit of a chore, but a little razor blade action and some good old-fashioned brake clean. Not that sissy non-chlorinated crap either. The good stuff. Be hearing colors in a little while. Got it all pretty just to put more RTV on it. Coming to this time, we're putting that plate onto there. Now, this is, I'm just pointing this out. This is nothing more than me pointing this out. I was lining this up. I'm going to line that up with that notch because that is where the ABS sensor goes. I don't know if you remember or not, but I did the same exact Pro Series 2 front brakes on the car right there. They do not have the provisions for the ABS sensors. Therefore, you lose ABS. I don't get it. Why are they there? I don't know. Next time I take these all apart and replace bearings and everything, I'm going to take them tone rings off. That way I can get to these studs a little bit easier because, that tone ring is in the way. And I have, if you keep up with this car, I have bent those before by using the wrong lug nuts, but whatever. Yeah, whatever. Eventually, maybe one day the car will need 1/2 inch studs. Those are still, I'm sorry. Maybe one day the car will need 5/8 studs. For right now, they're 1/2 inch. Slides right on like a glove. I'm going to put these bolts on real quick, and that way the RTV doesn't set up too quick, and it's kind of like, you know, squishes it evenly. And then I'm going to go clean that surface up real quick and put RTV on it, and then we will put the axle back in. We just got to line the splines up with the spool, and we'll be good to go. When you get to this point where you put the axle back in, you got your caliper bracket mounted, everything looking good, torqued down and RTV'd, and you just figure out which bolt pattern lines up. This one's going to be the larger one. Voila. Alright, well now it's time to mount the caliper. And when you go to mount the caliper, you're going to get all this hardware and you're going to be like, why do they give me so many washers? Well, those are obviously the bolts. These darker ones, if you notice, they're like the black color. Those are your washers. These are actually spacers, because you want to get the pads as center. I'm sorry, you want the rotor as center as possible to the pads. Therefore, you have to figure out the configuration to get them as center as possible. Then you get your caliper. It is directional. You see the arrow. That is the way that the rotor is supposed to rotate. Same thing with the rotors. I've showed you guys that already. This is going to go on that back side. Just kind of like that. 14 millimeter bolts. Yeah, because it's strange, right? Now I got to take this little bolt out. That is basically the pin that holds the pads in, and I'll show you how that works. All right, that is the bolt, that is the nut, and this is like a sleeve that slides through the pads, like so. You got little dangly pads, and then you slide them into the caliper. All right, they're in there, and you just slide that bolt right through the sleeve, and then put the nut back on. And looking down there, I don't know if you can see it or not, but the rotor is dead center of the pads, and I did not put any shims in here. And that is basically it. I'm saving a ton of weight, and it is rotational weight. This is significant here. I mean, every ounce counts, you know, obviously, but this is serious upgrades here. That is going to do it for this video, killers. I hope you like what I'm doing here, and if you do, please like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to keep on plugging and chugging, getting this thing going. Hoping to have it at the track this fall. We are going for that 10-0 pass. I hope you follow along with this journey. I hope you enjoy the NAMT82 content.